Everything's different, everything's new, everything's changed. Even my age. Hello everyone and welcome to One Shot Counts, the channel where I review films and people enjoy it and have my opinions be known. But today, it's all different. Today, I'm not going to review a film. Today, I am going to talk about my favourite films. And you might be asking, why are we having this sudden change? Because today's my birthday and I wanted to talk about my favourite films. And yeah. In no particular order, I will start with New Hope. You know I love Star Wars, and the thing is, I love when things start. Like, I love when things begin, and I always love going back to how it began. But with Star Wars, it's such a consistent and such a beautiful opening. And I will never forget seeing the Rebel cruiser and then this massive Star Destroyer come behind it, and that first shot is so immense. Like, to me, every time I see it, I'm like, oh my god. The thing is, I love R2-D2 and C-3PO. I think, like, out of every film ever, they just have such good chemistry. Like, I know that sounds weird, and that is clearly childhood me talking, but C-3PO and R2-D2 are so beautiful together. Like, they're characters that mold together, that every time I see them on screen, I'm like, oh, it's them, I love you! And Star Wars, I said last time, has such good villains, and Darth Vader is loved by everyone. Like, I'm not the only one who loves him. Darth Vader is a beautiful character who has depth. Even with the prequels, I will agree, when I first saw him, as a 7-year-old child, I was like, oh my god, this guy is not terrifying me, he's so dark and, oh guys, he has power beyond my beliefs. The first time you see Vader, it's when he emerges from the smoke. And again, that symbolism, like there's a powerful figure that just appears and boom, you just know he sends a room silent. If in the galaxy he's feared, and there is a reason for that, and that's because he is terrifying. Two other films I can quickly list off I absolutely, fantastically adore. Back to the Future. I will remember watching it when I was like 11 and I was just blown away. There's so much depth, and every time I see it, every single time I see it, there is something I did not notice before. Robert Zemeckis is a beautiful director. 1 and 2 are so beautifully molded together. It's, oh my god, it's amazing! The other film is Inside Out. First time I watched it, nothing. I didn't cry, nothing. I just enjoyed it. I sat there and I was like, oh, this is so fun. It's such a good Pixar film. It's got colours, and it's fantastic, and the characters are amazing and well developed, and including the person that the emotions inhabit. Second time I watched it, I bawled. Amy Poehler's joy, when she sees the emotions and she starts crying, I just let the waterworks flow. Inside Out is, like, for me, a highlight. And I don't know why, because I know a lot of people, it's a good film and loads of people love it, but it's never carried the sense and weight that most Pixar films have. Like, people have forgotten this film exists. Like, when I say I love this film, people go, oh yeah, I love that film. And I'm like, yeah, but do you really? Like, how many times have you seen it? Once? I've seen it like 12. Like, I've seen this film so many times because it's just fantastic and amazing, and it's so good. I'm gonna group these two together because they're made by the same director. One is Grand Budapest Hotel and the other is Fantastic Mr. Fox. Grand Budapest Hotel I watched when I was sick and I was about like 14. Whenever it came out, anyway. It blew me away. I think it was like the first Wes Anderson film I had noticed had depth, even though it's like a storybook and it's so panelled. The comedy, I watched it the first time and I watched it with my parents and they didn't laugh. I watched it the second time by myself and I pissed myself. Like, it's dark, light comedy. The two molded together really well in that film, and it's lovely. And the colour palette, like the pastel colours, work well with the time frame that Wes Anderson wanted to set the film in. Fantastic Mr. Fox, I have a fantastic relationship with, pun intended. I one time took one film on me to go on holiday with for 3 weeks, and it was this film, and I watched this film every day for 3 weeks. It's one of those films in your childhood that I feel like it molded me into a person I am, not because of its overarching story, just the characters. Well, there were so many characters, they were all so diverse. The comedy was great. George Clooney was amazing. It had a lot of comedy that adults had to understand. Every time I watched it, even to this day, I watched it like a month ago, and I still understood something new that I didn't the last time I watched it. And for that, I just love it. I absolutely adore it. My other films are La La Land and Singing in the Rain. Two films where I feel like they're both similar, and when I always talk about La La Land, I always talk about Singing in the Rain. La La Land came out at a time where I had just started being a film student. I was literally like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go into a film and I'm gonna see if I can notice stuff, like I can enjoy it as a film student. This film did not disappoint me. The framing is beautiful, the actors are amazing, the songs are fantastic, the story is amazing, and I know some people disagree with that. I've met so many people in my life that they don't like this film because it's called a musical, because it doesn't have a lot of musical aspects, but it's got so many things for me that tick so many boxes at that time in my life that when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is what a film should be. It was everything that a film in my head should have been, and it was, and I loved it. And it's still to this day, every time I watch it, it does not disappoint me at all. Singing in the Rain is a film I was shown at a very late stage in my existence, and it's a film that I came to love very, very quickly whilst watching it. My favourite bit in the entire film is when he is doing the happiest moment I've ever seen in cinema, when he's dancing in the rain. It's a beautiful moment, it's a moment of cinematic history, and every time I watch it, I sometimes just YouTube it to make myself feel better, because that is a man so happy to be alive, and it transfers to the audience like that. And to me, that is one of my favourite bits of cinema ever. It will never get recreated, nothing will match its level of enjoyment, and for that, I absolutely adore it. Love, Simon. I adored Love, Simon. I'm even wearing the t-shirt I bought for it right now. Love, Simon, though, was my story portrayed on a big screen for everyone to see. Love, Simon is just the story that I think so many gay people can relate to. That is the first diverse film I have seen where the gay guy is the front and centre of the story. He's not some sort of comic relief in the background. He's actually the character that everybody's watching on the screen 100% of the time. That's what I love. This film was my film I wish I had a little earlier on so I could discover myself quicker. My final film is the reason I'm doing film, and you know what's coming. It's called Jurassic Park by Steven Spielberg of 1993 fame, and it's amazing. Seriously though, Jurassic Park is one of the best films ever made. It is seriously the reason I'm doing film. Like, seeing a dinosaur on screen, and I watched it at a young age where that CGI at that young age was very believable, and to this day, I still watch it and go, oh, and Brachiosaurus at the beginning is so cool! Every time I have a big smile on my face. I can't watch that scene without going, oh, John Hammond, you beautiful bastard. In life, when I meet someone who's never watched Jurassic Park, I sit them down, or I question them and I go, okay, do you know what it's about? Do you know why this film is so important in the scale of cinema? Do you know what this film is? Like, Jurassic Park is the reason that, not only that I love cinema, but when I love something, I always think back to when I first loved a film so much. All the time. When I say I love something, I'm always like, oh, it's just that happy, joyful passion that when you love something so much, it just makes you so giddy and so happy and so joyful that you're happy and overwhelmed. Jurassic Park is my kryptonite. And for that, okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry if this video was so long. I don't know how the edit's going to come along, but I had to talk about films because I wanted to today. Today, if anything, I've hit my second decade, and I wanted to talk about my previous 2 decades of how much film I love, how much I've watched, and yeah. Before I go, and this is gonna sound super cheesy, but what are your favourite films? Like, if you give me 1, if you give me 5, give me 20. I want to know what everybody else loves. There's not a lot of indie films in this because I'm starting to discover them now in my later life, so this list will probably be different by the time I reach 30. So, yeah. But I want to hear about everybody else's views. I love to hear about your views. So tell me what are some of your favourite films, favourite film, maybe there's one that conquers all films in your life. Let me know. I would absolutely adore and love to hear what they are. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a fantastic day. I just want everyone to have a fantastic day today, because it's not my day, it's everybody's day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. But until then, I love you. I love all of you.